I've done is, like, bad people won't be coming in. It's minimum D license, but if you get an invite from me, that's all good. I'll buy it. So, 5 and 7. Started at 5. Thanks for the follow, Rocky Joe 30. It's well appreciated, mate. Hello and welcome. I'm Adam Bonan, and today we're gonna jump into a practice session for round 3 of the CLIO Cup Sunday series. So at the moment we got a couple drivers from the championship. Randoms will be coming into this game if they have a high enough license, so we're not going to make the same mistake as the previous weeks for these practice sessions in giving everyone the opportunity to come in and I guess sort of ruin it for the guys that are actually in the championship. So let's get this all underway. Just trying to find something. Be right back. Alright, so we're in the official practice session for this series. I'll take you around for a lap using the stable setup, so we'll give that a crack. Obviously I'm not contending this series, but I'll give you, I guess, an in-depth of the track specifications and what you have to do to get a competitive time. So, being a really short track, it takes a long time to heat up these tyres to obviously the optimum temperature. So, the first lap might not be, a ripper lap, but I'll try to do the best with the sort of tyre conditions I have. So I'm trying to work these in, trying to break them in as you would do with a horse. Try not to get it too loose. Alright, here we go for the flying lap. Use turn 6 as a slingshot. Make sure you keep your mid-corner speed at a maximum. Heading on to the main straight. Go up the 5th gear. Try to reach a speed of 190 kilometers an hour just before the 100 meter sign. Back to 3rd. Pull it in tight at turn 1. Don't overdo it like I did there, but it's alright so far. Brake just before the Red Bull mobile sign. Go a bit wide, then come in very narrow into that right-hander. Come in wide again for this left-hander, then come in narrow. Foot fully to the floor with the accelerator. Awesome exit onto the back straight. Up the 5th gear. Get to about 182 kilometers an hour just before the 50. Brake at the 50. Get it turned in as much as possible to the inside curb. Again. Use turn 6 as a slingshot. Keep your mid-corner speed as high as possible. Heading on to the main straight. Going back up the 5th gear. Trying to reach our max speed. Heading into the 100 meter marker as you see now. Now brake. Back to 3rd. Turn it in very narrow. Use as much of the exit curve as possible. Do not go on the red bit. You'll get penalised. 58 free. A respectable time. Obviously, track evolution will play a key role in faster times as well. So hopefully we can get a couple more of our championship contending drivers in this lobby and see what sort of pace we're dealing with heading into tomorrow's race. Scraffy locking up a bit there and really swinging it out wide and right on his tail right now. It's not the most efficient way to get around turn 6. Now, I'm in the draft of Scruffy now. I should gain an extra 5 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken. And I did. We'll go for one more lap. Good exit there. Same markers, but yeah, I stuffed it up there. Locked it up severely. So the sort of pole position times you'll be seeing tomorrow is a 57 flat. And obviously, that's the maximum. The minimum is probably in the 56s, which is world record pace. So I do expect to see a 56 in tomorrow's qualifying sessions. Keep in mind we got 3 of those, so the drivers have 3 opportunities to get that lap record. Still an improvement, 57.6, not too shabby. It's more of your race pace type times right there. So we'll go to the monitor, we'll go on board with Machapo, see what he's got. Now, he's said to me that he's got a new G29 force feedback steering wheel, so I think I mentioned in one of my previous videos that he should be out flying this round. Now let's see what he's got here. Let's see how it shapes up in the last sector. Is he going to use turn 6 as a slingshot? Yes, he does. Doesn't use much of the green exit curb as you see in the background. We'll go chase view. That's a 58.9. So he's in the 58s. It's a very competitive time there for Machapo. And Scruffy not under a minute yet, but every driver should get a time under a minute. Probably went in a tiny bit too narrow for starters, but he's pulled it up. Good exit through the technical section of Sector 2, through the fast right and the fast left. It's definitely on for an improvement here, I'd say. Now, where does he brake? Brakes a bit late and sets it out wide, and I think that, yeah, lap invalidation. So we'll go on board with Scruffy. Got it turned in all right there. Could have got a better mid-corner speed out of that to get a better exit, but he's just trying to keep it smooth, trying to get under a minute. Getting a lot of the dirt on the inside. Quite surprised his rear didn't stick out as much as it did there. I'm very shocked. He's still got a decent exit through that section. Now he's onto the back straight. Go back to chase view, see where he brakes. Late braker as well. And sets the rear out. Don't want to unsettle the car too much through this section. Not using that last turn as a slingshot. The drivers must use that as a slingshot. They need to keep their mid-corner speed up to reach their top speed heading into the 100 braking marker. Really using engine braking to his... Let's see what he gets up here. I've never seen someone brake this late before at this track. Got a lot of the dirt on the inside. And Machapo has had another lap time invalidated for exceeding track limits, which I would assume was in this section here in turn 5's turn 6. Is he going to use this as a slingshot this time? No. He didn't keep his mid-corner speed up enough. I'll get the speedo up, see what sort of telemetry he's actually getting at these corners, and we'll have a look at his mid-corner speed. So he's getting up to 185, 186 heading into turn 1. You could probably go 110 with mid-corner speed at turn 1. Going all the way up to 160. Brakes a lot late. Really sliding the rear out. Wouldn't be good for tyre deg, that's for sure. He's struggling here because he hasn't given himself a wide entry there. You want a wide entry so you can get a narrow exit out with good mid-corner speed, and in doing so, giving you good exit speed. Now, does he brake a lot earlier? Nah, he's drifting it around turn 5. Not the most efficient way to get around there. But he has got himself a 59.8. He needs to get in the 58s to be competitive tomorrow night. So 59.7 for Scruffy. We'll go back on board with Machapo, who in the meantime has got a 58.6, and I wasn't on board for that lap. I do apologise. Very smooth entry and exit through turn 1 from Machapo. Getting the braking markers perfect here. Really light on the accelerator input. Very good car control from Machapo here. Hasn't slid the rear out there, and as a result, a very good exit heading onto the back straight. Now, he struggled through this third sector here. He's got to set it up pretty good. So he's broke early this time. Used as much as the inside curb, got as wide as possible. Not using turn 6 as much as a slingshot as I would have thought, but it should be an alright lap time. It should be an improvement. It is. It's up 3 attempts on his previous time, and it's a 58.3. Now let's see if he's got consistency. That's the question. You can pump out good laps, but if you don't get yourself in a groove, you're sort of sacrificing, you know, what you've got. You don't want to do that. You want to try build the muscle memory and make sure that you keep that groove. Otherwise, it's not going to end well. So he's out of fill here in Machapo. So that's me. And this bloke's a random, so we will view him. So everyone's in his pit lane except for Scruffy here.
I got invalidated on a 57.9.
That's alright. 57.9 if he didn't have it invalidated. There you go. He's just got to set up that last sector and probably not take it as hard as he did. If he keeps it smooth through there, he's definitely going to break the 57. So now, what has Scruffy got? He's got a 59.7. Can he improve from that? His championship rival in Machapo has got 1.5 temps on him. So it's not looking good for Scruffy so far. Not looking good pace-wise. Getting all the braking markers and apexes wrong here. Taking a narrow approach in the turn 6. You need to use that as a slingshot. Otherwise, you're not going to maximise your straight line speed. Now, he's gone on the inside wall. I don't know what that go is there. Getting a bit of curb, and he's overshot it there. I don't know if that's a slowdown penalty, but it will be close to it. Now, getting as much of the grass as possible. That surely deserves a slowdown there. Really attacking this technical section in Sector 2. You know, it may look fast, but is it enough for an improvement? He needs to brake earlier here and keep it in 4th. And get it turned in early. He needs to ride that front right tyre over the curb. As of here, he's got to turn in early, make sure 3/4 of the car gets over that green inside curb. That's how you use it as a slingshot. Now, is it an improvement? Yes, it is. It's up 3 attempts in a 59.4. And it looks like he is, returning the pits. So we'll go on board with this random. I'll get his name. So Multiversu. So we're on board with Multiversu here. Not a familiar face, but he's in here for a good reason, because his license lies above D, which is a good safety rating. Ooh, probably overshot it there. Looks like he's going with the loose setup, so if you don't really warm up those tyres and break them in earlier on, you're going to see a lot of oversteer moments, just like back there with Multiversu. Now, how does he use his braking markers? He brakes just after the 50, and a lot of oversteer. He's definitely on the loose setup. So we got Scraffy out and parked on the side of the road. Probably didn't maximise his mid-corner speed there, but it looks smooth. Brakes early. Gets it turned in very narrow. Probably a bit too hungry on the accelerator there. Set himself out slightest bit wide. And if it was the race, he'll be vulnerable through this section. Someone would have got a good run on him and just put it down the inside up in the turn 5. He's really careful through the last sector. He's getting a lot of oversteer. And as you can see on the top right corner of the current screen, his vehicle status, his rear right tyre is not warmed up at all. In a matter of fact, his whole right side isn't warmed up. So, crucial moments here. Now, we'll go on board with Machapo. So, Multiversu has jumped our championship contender in Scraffy. And he's got a 59-1. So let's see if Machapo can finally break the 57 mark. And he'll definitely see himself as a contender tomorrow night if he can break that. Now, this is the section he's really struggling with. The rear's getting away from him a tiny bit there. He just needs to keep it smooth. He doesn't need to overdo it in the last sector. Trust me, I've tried and it's ended in the same way. You can't try too hard in that sector. So, got to reply to a message here. Alright, so it looks like this is a smooth lap from Machapo. Is he overdoing it? He's setting the rear out. You got to make sure the rear doesn't unsettle itself. Scraffy is making a pit stop. He's going on a set of tyres that will obviously be of lower pressures. So I want to go out there and crack a lap with the loose setup just to show you how catastrophic it is not to warm up those tyres. So I'll get into my usual view, and there you see Scraffy getting a pit stop done there. So this lap will count for me because I've already made it past the control line before. So I'm really going to try and break these tyres in. That's alright for me because yeah, I'm not contending. So yeah, it just wants to get away from me at this stage on cold tyres. There we go. That's the struggles of cold tyres on a front wheel drive. So we got Machapo and Scruffy on track. I'll just get this reference for you guys done. Show you a lap in the loose setup, which is the choice for qualifying, that's for sure. Alright, so our usual braking markers will get us across the line with a competitive lap time. Now, I overshot it there. Not shocked about that decision, but we're going to run with it. Hopefully it doesn't invalidate my next time. We'll slow down here. Going to get another penalty. Alright. Now we can get back to business. See, if you take it smooth through this sector, it should play nice to you. Alright, so we're going for our hot lap now on the loose setup. Kept the mid-corner speed up reasonably high. We're down on our previous best. Using as much as that inside curve as possible. So I don't really want to turn too much because it will sacrifice a couple kilometers. Now you see, it really wants to set the rear out. Trying as hard as I can to keep control of the rear back there. And that is a 57.5. It's an improvement. We'll go one more shot and then we'll go on board with the live scenes with Machapo and Scruffy. Obviously hard work pays off, so hopefully these guys can have good results come tomorrow's race. I could probably brake a bit later up here. We got it on the curb, left rear tyre, connected with the curb, and we lost mechanical grip in the rear and unsettled the car. So we'll go back on board with Machapo. Go chase view. He's really trying to keep it steady through the last sector. That's good to see. So he's on to the main straight now. Heading into turn one. Let's see if he's got the same braking marker. Yep. Probably went in a bit too narrow on entry. Should have positioned this car a bit wider. You don't want to connect with the grass, but it is high risk versus high reward type stuff in that first corner. If you can keep your car out as wide as possible, you give yourself a better exit and a better mid-corner speed. So that's what they've got to play for into turn one tomorrow. So if Machapo keeps it clean for the last sector, he should improve on that 58.2. Awesome there. Now he almost did a me just before. Kept hold of it. Really using turn 6 as a slingshot. Now what's this for Machapo? No improvement. So we'll go on board again. One more time. He's running low on fuel here. He's got 1 litre of fuel. It's looking like a very smooth lap. We got some other one joining the lobby. That's not one of our guys contending the championship, but he is welcome to join. As long as he doesn't cause chaos, I'm happy with randoms to join this lobby. Probably unsettled a bit over the exit curve in the exit of turn 6. So he still didn't improve. We'll go on board with Scruffy. Looks like he's doing alright on these, I guess you can call them softer tyres, because the tyre pressures will be a lot lower than usual. Keep in mind, we're allowing the drivers to do that. Can't really police that in any way. It's quite hard to. But if you were to do it in the race, you'd lose too much time to gain that ground with the pit stop. So, in terms of the race, you wouldn't make that pit stop. But for qualifying, if you want to get those faster lap times, you'd want to have the tyre pressures down a lot lower than what it is on the default setups. It's looking smooth. Spoke too soon. Probably let the rear out a little bit there. Probably a bit too much. Now he needs a better approach into the last sector here. Needs to use, yep, he's doing what I'm talking about, using the slingshot effect to reach your top speed down the main straight. It's weird how Scruffy positions his car here. Too happy with setting the rear out there. Got to get out of that habit, because otherwise you're going to be losing too much time to the guys behind. And the random bloke that joined, he punches a time of a 58.9, so a respectable time from him. And we got another bloke. Obviously not another one of our championship contenders yet, but we'll give more screen time to the guys that are actually in the series for tomorrow night. Now, when's Machapo going to leave pit lane? See if he can finally break that 57 barrier. Scruffy late on the brakes in the turn 1. Well, slightly late on the brakes there, but it doesn't seem to hinder his exit too much. Set the rear out a bit there, but I think it's going to be a good time. Now, Scruffy's really struggling in this sector here. He needs to clean it up a bit, because that's where all the time can be gained for Scruffy. So, Machapo's left pit lane. Stay on board until Scruffy finishes this lap. And what is it for Scruffy? It's an improvement. Up 3 tenths in a 59 flat. So, he's starting to see some improvements. So this will be Machapo's out lap here. I don't think he's been out on track long enough to have circulated a lap. But provisionally he is P1 in this race. because I'll be retiring to the pits once this gets underway. So we're having a few more guys join, but yeah, hopefully I don't have the usual carnage that we have with these sort of lobbies. I did restrict it to a certain select people, with making the safety rating quite respectable. And someone's had a big off at turn 2. Don't know who that is, but that's a big off. Hasn't really got the tyres warmed up here, Machapo. He needs to get those other 3 tyres up to temp. He needs to break them in. If he is to beat that 57 barrier, his tyres are going to have to be up to optimum temp. Keep in mind, this is only light cloud weather. If it was like overcast conditions, medium cloud, he may have broken the 57 barrier right now. But for now, he's got to focus on consistency, especially in the last sector, because that's what will get him the 57. All the stuff's cleared up at turn 2. So he's really getting hindered with these cold tyres. He's getting a lot of understeer. So we got 4 minutes 30 left in this session. Can any of the randoms, or even Scraffy for that matter, challenge Machapo for the top spot? And we're going to simulate the sprint race as well. So it'll be an 11 lap race, no mandatory pit stop, but the technical thing is it's accelerated tyre wear. So if you're on a loose setup, you've got to be able to conserve those tyres earlier on for you to have a fighting chance heading into the closing stage of the race. If you got the stable, you should be fairly fine. You should punch out pretty consistent laps in probably 57s. Depending on who you are, maybe 58s. So at the end of this race, considering Scraffy got a penalty last week, I've come up with a poll on who do you think the Paul Morris of the series is. I do predict it to be Scraffy. But I guess it's a prestigious award. He's won a Bathurst 1000. So we'll see if Scraffy gets voted in for that. He's definitely the red hot favourite for that award. So if you want to be voting for that, will be on Twitch. I'm trying to find a way to get that sort of poll system working on YouTube. But if you want to be a part of it on YouTube, you can press send in the number corresponding to the person of choice. I can copy and paste it into the chat for you guys watching on YouTube. And I won't be able to manually add the votes, but I'll sort of do it in my head and give you a winner of that award. So in the meantime, Machapo did improve, but it hasn't broke the 57 mark yet. So he's looking for some improvement here. So I'm going to set up that poll now, and while we wait during the setup for the race, I'll pop that on screen, and the guys on YouTube will be able to know what they can, well, obviously who their choice will be corresponding to the number. So I'm just quickly setting that up now. I'll get some onboard footage in Scruffy. So right now you should be on board with Scruffy. I'm watching it on screen as well while I do this. He seemed to have got a good exit at turn 1. He's really working it through the second sector here. Alright. So I've started the poll. The number corresponding next to the name is how you vote. So basically, I'll bring that on screen once the qualifying session is over. For guys watching on Twitch, it should be on your chat now, so you can gauge, I guess, the choices there. So Scruffy's finished that lap, and he didn't improve, unfortunately. So none of our championship contenders are out on track. They are officially done for this session. So I'll go to the poll. It's just a fun poll. It's more of friendly banter here. But so if you want to vote for Scruffy, just type 1 in the chat, and that vote will go towards Scruffy being Paul Morris in the series. And same with the others down the order. The number next to their name is the number you have to type in the chat if you're on Twitch, and that will automatically go through and add that to the tally. So at the end of the race, we'll see who has got that award, and they'll be on the pre-race show tomorrow. So I'm going to continue this, and we'll get into the race. I'll retire the pits, retire and spectate. So I'm going to lose license points, but I'm fine with that. So Paul, obviously, is a random bloke, so I don't know his name. Not with the 3-letter abbreviation, VTT. Got no clue what that means. But we know what MAC means, Machapo. Nam, sad. And obviously in last is Scruffy. Still respectable lap times from the guys. So we'll see what sort of pace our contenders have got in comparison to the random guys. Guys should almost be done. I think we're waiting on one bloke. Some random bloke. Alrighty. Should be into some practice race action very shortly. So it's an 11 lap sprint race. And obviously, if you're to win this race, you've got to keep in the slipstream of the guy in front. So it's up to the guys if they want to be leading into turn 1, because you're going to be sacrificing 10 kilometers in comparison to the guy behind. So who's that with a good start? That's Machapo. He's already up on the inside here. He's going to get the move done into 1. He needs to move himself slightly over so he doesn't sacrifice his exit. He's got it out of 1. Does he go defensive at turn 2? He doesn't, and he's holding on here. Scruffy just keeping it casual at the back. Don't know who this bloke is, but he's got some extraordinary pace. Sad. He must be pretty sad. What happened to Machapo? Oh wait, no, that wasn't Machapo. That was the other random bloke. Sorry about that. Just getting things mixed up here. Alright, so we'll go on board with our participants in the championship. So, can Machapo gain ground on these extremely quick guys? And can he break the 57 mark in this race? I'll love to see him do it. Now, the grid should have at least 10 drivers tomorrow, so it should be an exciting one. Championship, in terms of, you know, who's in contention. Everyone's still in mathematical contention, but the top 3 are only separated by 3 points. So, everything to play for in the penultimate round, and Machapo has the chance to make ground on those championship contenders. He can punch himself back into contention if he can remain within 59 points heading into the last round. Keep in mind, there's a maximum of 60 points up for grabs in the last round. So, as long as you're within that 59 point range, you're still in contention. And a big slide up ahead. Machapo sort of emulating what just happened. So, someone's gone wide down further. Scruffy just keeping it clean, just trying to get some good practice in. He's not up far enough to get the slipstream, so you would see his pace drop off as of now. But last lap was a 59.3, so still doing reasonably well without that slipstream. Back on board with Machapo, and we're looking at everything unfold ahead of him. He's making tiny bits of ground through the second sector. He looks to be very good in comparison to the guys ahead. I don't know if that deserves a slowdown penalty. We'll see what he's got in turn 5. And I think he's learned. Oh, big moment, big moment, big moment. Now that's what we don't want. Lucky it isn't for real. Lucky it isn't the real deal. If that was the round, the official round, that would be catastrophic for Machapo's championship chances. So he's got to sort of analyse what happened there. Basically what I saw was his left rear tyre got onto that exit curb and sort of lost grip there. So he's got to analyse that and see what went wrong. But from my opinion, probably left the rear left tyre a bit too wide. Now we're on board with Scruffy, who goes up one position out of that carnage. Now we'll give these guys a bit of screen time for the sake of it. They're actually doing very good. So we'll look from behind. Extreme amounts of pressure being handed out at the front. Looks like he's going defensive into turn 1. Has he overdone it? He's locked up through the mid-corner. But he looks to have held on. And I think that gap's extended a tiny bit. Ever so slightly, but he's went wide. He's went wide. But he's gathering it back up. But VTT, I'm just saying the abbreviations here, has got a good exit, but he's not going to send it down heading into turn 5. He could get it done into 6. I wouldn't do it now. I'll try it into 1 if you could get a good enough draft off the guy in front. And 5 temps down, I don't think that's going to happen this lap. So the top 3, separated by less than a second. This is the sort of stuff we're going to see tomorrow night in the official championship round. So the guys like Pointy, Nath, Morningstar Mike, Exus, Machapo, they're going to have close battles on their hand, just as we see on screen now. If you didn't watch the last round of the CLIO series, it's obviously on my YouTube channel. You can go back, have a look at that. I do recommend watching the last race of the round. It was quite entertaining. With I won't give it away who wins, but you just can watch that and get the excitement out of that. Bit of a moment. This race is officially done. So on lap 7, we're on the later stages of the race. So this is where tyre deg does come into play. If you haven't pushed too hard, your tyres should be in better shape than the guys that have pushed the car to its limits earlier on. And that's assuming that these guys are on the loose setup. So can VTT get a run onto the main straight? He needs to set him up through this sector. He goes in narrow with the entry through turn 5. Is he going to use turn 6 as a slingshot? He is. But is that going to get a penalty? Did he use too much of the inside curb? He has got a slightly better run. He won't be up far enough to get it done at 1. He can set him up through the second sector. And he's trying to emulate what the bloke's doing ahead of him. Taking different lines to the guy in front. Gonna try everything you can to win this race. But looks like I'll get his name. Give him sort of a shout out for his performance. Nameless Goal. Obviously a Fallout fan. So Nameless. Bit of a mistake in turn 6. But he shouldn't be under pressure in turn 1. VTT has to... Looks like he's going for the setup here. Is he going to get it done through sector 2? So Machapo's gone further back in the pack. He's getting used to his 4-speed back steering wheel. And that's why these practice sessions are so crucial. Good commitment from him though. Now has VTT got a run here? Taking it easy. Right on his tail now. He can set him up in the 1. But, yeah, Nameless is going to go defensive here. Stay in the draft, and you might be able to slingshot yourself down the outside. Maybe do a cut back here. Cut back will be the way to go. Still gets a better exit than Nameless. He's going to chuck it down the inside. Bit conservative. Still got 1 lap after this. Nameless out a bit wide. He's set himself up vulnerable for VTT. He's still in the draft. He's got 1 lap to do it. Question is, will he do it? Will he keep it clean? He's got a good exit here, but Nameless gone for the defensive move. Can only make 1 move, and he's gone by the rules. Good racecraft from these two. Cutback will do the trick here. Got to get the timing right though. This could be another defensive play. These guys are putting on a show. Obviously, they're not known to our community, so extraordinary effort from these guys. It's a pity we haven't seen our championship contenders in Scraffy and Machapo right up there, but their pace seems to be good. It's going to be competitive. Oh, He just sent it, and he's done the same thing as Machapo, and he's ended up in the wall pretty hard. So it's unfortunate scenes there for VTT. On board with Scraffy. 45 seconds to go till the checkered flag is done. Oh, probably curb hopping there, but I don't think it's given anyone any penalties. I have set penalties, but I think everyone's getting away with that stuff. So, Machapo, like I said, he really needs to hit that 57 mark. He's so close. Just needs to clean up that sector 3, and he should be in the 57s. So, a good turnout from the guys. But for today, the practice session is done, and that will be it for today's stream. So, if you want to tune in tomorrow, same time, 6:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time, and we'll have some live action-packed CLIO Cup Sunday series. Keep in mind the championship is extremely close, Pointy on top. Top 3 separated by just 3 points. Everything to play for in the penultimate round. And I guess we don't know who will be leading the championship heading to the final round, but we will find out tomorrow night. I've been Metamon, and I'll see you in the next video, or live stream rather, tomorrow night. Bye.
Oi, I'm going to show you.